What do you get when you mix Derwent Drawing Pencils and an owl? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will be reviewing the Derwent Drawing Pencils, and I will be doing a demonstration on how I made this owl with them. If you are new here, I am Kelly. I do art tutorials, product reviews, and tips for creative moms. So if it's your first time here, consider subscribing. I upload new videos every week. So let's get into the review and tutorial. Okay guys, so before we get too into this tutorial part, I want to talk about the supplies that I'm using. I am using the Derwent 24 drawing set of pencils. I also am going to be using a few of my Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils. I am also using the Strathmore Toned Gray 400 series sketchbook pad of paper. And I'm also using my Derwent Super Sharp Super Point sharpener. I am also going to be using paint thinner to blend some of these areas out. Okay, and before I show you how the Derwent drawing pencils come, I wanted to talk about really quickly what I started doing on this piece already. So I have lightly drawn out where I want my eyes and my beak to go, and I'm going to be freehanding the rest of it because I only want the eyes and the beak fully in focus, and I want the rest to be kind of faded out in the background. Okay, so down here in the corner you can see how the box comes. I got the largest set, and there's 24 colors in here. They come in a really nice case with a gorgeous box on the cover, and the pencils themselves feel wonderful. They're really nice and sturdy, and they come with this beautiful red casing on there, and the wood itself feels like it's really good quality as well. Another thing that I want to mention is that I did end up having to make a color chart like you see here in the corner because the lead itself didn't officially match what was kind of on the casing. Like, it was really close, but I at least recommend having a scrap piece of paper if you don't want to go all the way and make a color chart like I did. Okay, so the things that I wanted to kind of review with these pencils, I wanted to see if they would blend with the odorless mineral spirits. I'm sorry, apparently words are hard today. And I wanted to see if I could mix them with my other colored pencils, because if you can add any colored pencils to your collection, it's gonna do nothing but improve your colored pencil pieces. And these were amazing. They lay down so fast, and they cover so much space so quickly, and you can actually be even a little messy with these. This is what I loved about this piece, is that I had no idea what these pencils were capable of, and I really enjoyed experimenting on this one to see what they could do. So I picture these pencils doing really well with anything that you want blurred out, or like maybe a nice blurred background, or just to put your base colors down, because they lay down so quickly. Another great thing about these pencils that I just recently found out from the Colored Pencil podcast, I will put a link to that in the video description so you guys can check that out. I highly recommend that if you're going to work in any kind of pencil. They said that these are in fact light fast, which means you could easily mix them with your luminance pencils or your polychromos like I'm doing here on this eye. And I also was able to get these pencils really sharp with that sharpener. Because the lead is so soft though, they did not keep their point for very long, but you can get them sharp enough for certain areas. I don't know, I really thought that these pencils were really good. Like, they were so easy to work with. I was a little surprised. And then the stuff that I just wanted really fine detail on, I used my polychromos for that. Okay, so let's jump back into the tutorial demonstration part of this video. Right now I have already laid down a base layer with the Derwent drawing pencils, and then I'm coming on top of them with the bright oranges, yellows, and reds of the polychromos that I'm using. And I only use probably about 4 or 5 of my polychromos, so don't feel like you need to get like a gigantic set of these to make a really nice art piece. I think I did just fine with the 12 piece and the 24 piece of each one. Okay, so I just blended out with the odorless mineral spirit. Again, apparently I cannot say odorless mineral spirits today, but that's what I just used to blend it out, and even the paper is taking it really well, which is quite impressive because it's like only 60-pound paper, so I wasn't even sure if that was a good idea. So not only did I get to review the pencils, I also got to review the paper in this instance. But as you can see, I'm going in here and I just keep layering this eye until I get it the way that I want it to look. And notice in the black areas that I am not just using straight black. I am layering purples and blues and reds in there as well to give it more depth, which is the most awesome tip that I've gotten from Lock Free Fine Art. I will put a link to her YouTube channel in the video description as well. Okay, I also want to talk about the price of these pencils. The 24 set, I paid about $40, but I think it was $40.85 on Amazon. They come in a set of 6, a set of 12, and a set of 24. And another great thing about these pencils is that they're available open stock, which is so great. When you run out of one, you don't have to buy a whole brand new set just to get that one pencil that you needed. So just to clarify, the 24 piece, the larger set, is the one that costs $40.85, or I'm sorry, $40.85, not the smaller sets. Another great thing I want to mention about these pencils, I know a couple people complained that they had a little bit of breakage during the sharpening process, but I believe they were using an electric sharpener. I had no problems and no breakage using the Derwent Sharp Point pencil sharpener that I had showed you in the beginning of the video. And just so you guys know, I will have links to all the products that I am using in the video description below. Okay, so moving along here, as you can see, I just keep layering and layering and layering, and then I blend the layers out with the odorless mineral spirits again. And surprisingly, I am very, very impressed with this paper too. Like, I could not believe that I was going to even be able to blend with the odorless mineral spirits on this paper, because it's only 60 pound and I'm used to working on 140 pound paper, so that was quite impressive for me as well. And again, these pencils handled the odorless mineral spirits so great. Another thing that I really want to mention that I am super excited about with these pencils is how opaque they are. They have so much pigment, they're so soft and creamy, and they had no problem showing up on top of the layers that I had. The Chinese white, I was easily able to get the highlights where I wanted them without busting out my brush and pencil titanium white and touch-up texture, which I thought I was actually going to have to do. I did not actually have to do that. I was so impressed with these pencils. I can't even believe what you get and how the experience is for the 40 bucks. Like, it's even a great way to just start with colored pencil. Like, grab yourself a set of these, see if you like it, and just have a blast with them, because these are so fun. Okay, so back onto this owl piece that I'm working on here. Now, I'm keeping this piece really loose aside from the eyes and the beak, because I really wanted the focal point to be mainly on the eyes with this one, and I just wanted to experiment with these pencils and see if I liked them, see what techniques worked with them and which ones didn't. The only thing that I couldn't find that I couldn't do with these pencils was to get the really fine detail, and I had to use the black polychromos for that, which is my go-to pencil for any kind of intense dark detail like that. But the rest of these, I mean, they lay down so good, you guys. I can't even believe how great these pencils are. And apparently these have been around for a really long time. It's just nobody really discovered them because colored pencil really wasn't that popular up until a couple years ago. And now that Luminance and Polychromos came out with these really awesome light fast pencils, and there's a lot of colored pencil artists out here that are using them. These are gaining popularity, and I see why. I mean, you get a really nice value for little money. Like, it's compared to the full sets of the Polychromos and Luminance, this is a great pencil, especially for the price. I highly recommend it if you are thinking about getting started in colored pencil, or just if you want to play around in a sketchbook. These are really cool. Apparently I'm really excited about these pencils. Okay, moving on. So I am at this point still working on these feathers, still trying to get that softness and blending everything out right now with this paintbrush and just mixing it. I wanted to see how well they mix together, and I wanted everything to be really soft other than the eyes and the beak, like I said a minute ago. And I am just, oh my god, like I had so much fun on this one, you guys, because I usually have a lot more drawn out, and I just had those three basic elements, the two eyes and the beak, and I never, you know what I mean, like I really just kind of winged it from here on out. Like it was really nice to just kind of let loose and do a freestyle piece. I really enjoyed this one. Yeah, it was really nice to kind of step back from having to have the full detail, like the tiger piece I did not too long ago, like that one, like I couldn't stray away from the reference photo. Here I basically did the eyes and and the beak, and I just kind of I mean, it's not even close, like to where these feathers are. Like I wanted to get the realistic touch without having to have everything so precise. So I really just kind of placed stuff where I thought it would look best in this piece versus having to keep looking back at my reference photo and keep looking back. And don't get me wrong, I did look back because I wanted those realistic elements, but I also wanted this to be kind of like a surreal fantasy piece, and towards the end I add these drips, and like it was just a lot of fun to just kind of go off the books on this one. And right now I am starting to work on this background here, and you can see, I mean, I know this, I think it's about 6 hours worth of footage for this one, and normally my color, I think my tiger, I think I had probably 12 hours of footage that I shrunk down into a short amount of time. So you can, I mean, this basically cuts your time in half. And granted, this paper doesn't have as much tooth as I normally work on, but I was still really impressed with how quick this went. And the only reason why I didn't go as quick as I expected it to was because I kept changing my mind. And you really got to experiment and see what you like with certain things. And since I was trying to figure out what these pencils could do, I figured I would just fart around with this. I got the main elements to where I was really happy with the eyes and the beak, and I just really wanted to play with everything else. So I was having a blast with that. Alright, so I am adding a little bit of darkness. I think I'm using the chocolate brown. I really liked that pencil out of this set. I really enjoyed that one. The chocolate brown, the black, and as you can see I'm layering purples into that so it's not flat. Again, I will have Lisa Clow's video, not video, her channel, and she talks about layering a lot of other colors into a lot of her videos into the black, so it's not flat and it has a lot more depth. And that is probably my favorite tip, that I started applying that to my art pieces, and I was so impressed with the results. I figured I might as well share that with you guys. That's one of my favorite tips and one of the most helpful, and especially in realistic looking pieces. To get that depth, you got to add more colors into there, and then you have to bring your background colors into your subject when you're doing that. So you will see me layer a lot of purples into this owl in a little bit. Okay, and now I am blending all that background layers that I just laid down on there together to see how smooth I could get it. I think I could have got it a little smoother if I was using the 140 pound watercolor paper. This one, it didn't get quite as smooth. I think it's because these pencils are I think it's one of their small downfalls. They're a little waxy, so it was really like there's a lot of wax buildup, so I couldn't get really deep into the grooves even though my pencils were sharp. So I just kept layering until I was okay with the smoothness, and then I kind of embraced the roughness a little bit and decided to add drips in here, which I really enjoyed doing. It was really nice to just wing it at some point on here. Okay, so let's kind of review a review here. These pencils are very opaque. They are light fast. They blend well with other colored pencils. They blend well with odorless mineral spirits. I had no breakage during sharpening. They are very easy to work with. You can be messy with these. The coloring is a little off from the casing versus the actual lead. So I did have to make a color chart. Whether you do or don't, you might want to, have a scrap piece of paper so you can test out your colors before you actually put it on the paper. And they are a little waxy, but not nearly as waxy as the Prismacolors, which, so that was a plus. They weren't super waxy, but they were waxy enough that I felt there was a lot of buildup, but I still really enjoyed working with them. And then the only other downfall with these pencils is that I wish they had more colors. I wish they had all the colors so I could just paint all the things, but they didn't have all the colors. So if Derwent, if you are watching, if you could make me a dark gray, a dark red, a navy, a darker purple, maybe a pink, and maybe a bright yellow, I think this would be the perfect set of pencils to get started with seeing if you're interested in colored pencil, or just to have all those colors to fart around with in your sketchbook. That would make this such a great set. Don't get me wrong, this is a fabulous set of pencils, a fabulous set. I just want more colors because I'm greedy like that. So if Derwent wants to make some more colors, those are my suggestions. Okay, and so back to the owl tutorial. Right now I'm using a ruler, and I decided to go ahead and add some like really dark like tar drips. And I just I was in Halloween mode. I think I was watching a ghost show while I was doing this, which makes sense. If you don't know me, Halloween is my favorite time of the year. It's just really special, and you get full disclosure, you get to make some creepy ass drawings and stuff around Halloween time, and nobody really says anything. So, thumbs up. I really enjoyed this piece, you guys. It was a blast to work with these pencils, and like I said, they come in the 6 set, the 12 set, and the 24 set, and they are also available open stock. I highly recommend these, especially if you are even considering getting interested in a colored pencil. These are a great pencil for a cheaper amount of money to see if you are going to be interested in it, and I don't see why you wouldn't be after working with these, because these are great. And aside from Inktense, these are my favorite. That's all I have for you guys this week. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe so you don't miss anything. That's all I have for you, and I will see you next week.